Welcome to Askprep, your trusted companion for UPSC and IAS preparation. Today, we are diving into an essential topic in Indian economics, which is how GDP is calculated sector-wise. Understanding this concept is crucial for grasping the structure of an economy and assessing the contributions of different sectors, primary, secondary, and tertiary, to national growth. For aspiring policymakers, the ability to analyze GDP sector-wise is vital, as it intersects with areas like economic planning, resource allocation, and policy formulation. GDP calculation is not just about number, it's about understanding the economy's pulse and identifying opportunities for inclusive and balanced growth. So, without further delay, let's get started. Introduction: Gross Domestic Product, GDP, is a key indicator of a nation's economic health, reflecting the total monetary value of goods and services produced within its borders over a specific period. Calculating GDP sector-wise, across the primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors, provides a comprehensive understanding of the contributions of agriculture, industry, and services to the economy. This sectoral breakdown not only highlights the strengths and weaknesses of an economy but also serves as a foundation for informed policymaking and resource allocation. In India, where diverse sectors play unique roles in economic growth, understanding sector-wise GDP is essential for addressing developmental challenges and fostering balanced progress. For UPSC and IAS aspirants, this topic is critical, as it bridges concepts of economic planning, growth measurement, and sustainable development. Identify the sectors of the economy. Primary sector includes agriculture, forestry, fishing, and mining. This sector involves the extraction and harvesting of natural resources. Secondary sector comprises industries like manufacturing, construction, and utilities such as electricity, gas, and water. It focuses on processing raw materials into finished products. Tertiary sector encompasses services like trade, transportation, communication, banking, healthcare, education, and IT. Choose the method for GDP calculation. GDP can be calculated using three methods. Production method, used for sectoral GDP, calculates GDP based on the gross value added, GVA, by each sector. Income method adds up incomes earned by factors of production, example wages, profits, rents. Expenditure method summarize expenditures made on goods and services. For sectoral analysis, the production method is preferred. Calculate gross value added, GVA, for each sector. The first step in the production method is determining the GVA of each sector. Formula: GVA is equal to total output subtracts value of intermediate goods. Primary sector. Total output, the market value of crops, livestock, fisheries, and minerals. Intermediate goods, inputs like seeds, fertilizers, and machinery. Example: if the total agricultural output is 10,000 crore rupees and the cost of inputs is 2,000 crore rupees, GVA is equal to 10,000 rupees subtracts 2,000 rupees is equal to 8,000 crore rupees. Secondary sector. Total output, the value of goods produced in industries, example cars, machinery. Intermediate goods, costs of raw materials, energy, and other inputs. Example: if an automobile factory produces goods worth 50,000 crore rupees and incurs 20,000 crore rupees in raw material costs, GVA is equal to 50,000 rupees subtracts 20,000 rupees is equal to 30,000 crore rupees. Tertiary sector. Total output, revenue generated from services, example IT services, banking. Intermediate goods, operational costs like utilities and transportation. Example: if an IT company generates revenue of 5,000 crore rupees and incurs operational costs of 1,000 crore rupees, GVA is equal to 5,000 rupees subtracts 1,000 rupees is equal to 4,000 crore rupees. Adjust for taxes and subsidies. Once the GVA is calculated for each sector, adjustments are made for indirect taxes and government subsidies. GDP, sector-wise, is equal to GVA plus indirect taxes subtracts subsidies. This adjustment ensures the GDP reflects the market value of goods and services. For example, if the GVA of the secondary sector is 30,000 crore rupees, with 5,000 crore rupees in taxes and 2,000 crore rupees in subsidies. GDP is equal to 30,000 rupees plus 5,000 rupees subtracts 2,000 rupees is equal to 33,000 crore rupees. Aggregate sectoral contributions. The process of determining the total GDP of a country involves summing up the GDP contributions of its three main sectors: primary, secondary, and tertiary. This step provides a comprehensive picture of the economy's overall performance and helps in understanding the proportional contributions of each sector. Here's how this is done in detail. Sectoral GDP contributions. Each sector contributes to the economy based on the activities within it. Primary sector includes agriculture, forestry, fishing, and mining. Example: if the GDP from agriculture is 8,000 crore rupees, forestry 1,000 crore rupees, and mining 2,000 crore rupees, the total contribution from the primary sector is 11,000 crore rupees. Secondary sector comprises industries like manufacturing, construction, and utilities. Example: if the GDP from manufacturing is 20,000 crore rupees, construction 8,000 crore rupees, and utilities 5,000 crore rupees, the total contribution from the secondary sector is 33,000 crore rupees. Tertiary sector includes services such as IT, finance, education, healthcare, and transportation. Example: if the GDP from IT services is 15,000 crore rupees, banking 10,000 crore rupees, and trade 8,000 crore rupees, the total contribution from the tertiary sector is 33,000 crore rupees. Total GDP calculation. After calculating the GDP for each sector, their contributions are summed up to derive the total GDP. Formula: total GDP is equal to GDP, primary, plus GDP, secondary, plus GDP, tertiary. Example calculation. GDP, primary sector 11,000 crore rupees. GDP, secondary sector 33,000 crore rupees. GDP, tertiary sector 33,000 crore rupees. Total GDP is equal to 11,000 rupees plus 33,000 rupees plus 33,000 rupees is equal to 77,000 crore rupees. This total represents the combined economic output of all three sectors within a given time frame. Importance of aggregate sectoral contributions. Economic insights. Summing up sectoral GDP provides a clear picture of the economy's size and growth. It highlights which sectors are driving growth and which may require intervention. Policy formulation. Understanding the relative contributions helps governments prioritize resource allocation, implement targeted reforms, and focus on lagging sectors. Balanced growth. Aggregate contributions reveal disparities between sectors, prompting strategies for balanced development. For instance, if the primary sector lags, efforts may focus on rural infrastructure, mechanization, and irrigation. Sectoral proportions in GDP. To gain deeper insights, the proportion of each sector's contribution to the total GDP is calculated. Formula. Sectoral contribution, percent, is equal to sectoral GDP divides total GDP, times 100. Example: if the primary sector contributes 11,000 crore rupees to a total GDP of 77,000 crore rupees. Contribution, percent, is equal to 11,000 rupee divides 77,000 rupees, times 100 is equal to 14.3%. Similarly, the secondary sector's contribution. Contribution, percent, is equal to 33,000 rupee divides 77,000 rupees, times 100 is equal to 42.9%. Tertiary sector's contribution. Contribution, percent, is equal to 33,000 rupee divides 77,000 rupees, times 100 is equal to 42.9%. This analysis helps identify the dominant sectors and evaluate their role in economic development. Application of aggregate contributions for policymakers. Governments can use this data to track sectoral growth trends and design policies to boost underperforming sectors. For investors, investors can analyze which sectors offer higher growth potential based on their contributions and growth rates. For international comparisons, Sectoral contributions allow comparisons with other countries, showcasing strengths in specific industries like IT or agriculture. Regular data collection and reporting. In India, the National Statistical Office, NSO, under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, MoSPI, is responsible for compiling and reporting GDP figures. The data is sourced from primary sector, agricultural surveys, mineral production data. Secondary sector, industrial production reports, factory outputs. Tertiary sector, service sector surveys, trade reports, and financial statistics. GDP estimates are reported on a quarterly and annual basis. Conclusion: sector-wise GDP calculation is a vital tool for understanding the economic structure and identifying growth opportunities in an economy. By evaluating the contributions of the primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors, policymakers can implement targeted strategies to foster sustainable and inclusive growth. For India, where the tertiary sector dominates GDP while the primary sector supports a large population, this analysis is essential for achieving balanced economic progress and addressing developmental challenges. At Askprep, we aim to bring such insights to help you prepare better for your UPSC and IAS examinations. Thank you. This is Askprep, your guide to mastering UPSC and IAS preparation. Let's decode complex topics and simplify your journey to success.